Do some of you want an iPhone event? Would you like that? Does that sound good? Would you like it? Because iPhone Ticker, a German website, is claiming there's going to be one at the very end of March. How do they know there's going to be one? It's not important, just believe them. You know, I'm still not completely sold on there being a March event because a lot of us were very, very sure there was going to be an October event, but we're exploring the possibilities in today's video. And just because there may or may not be an event, that does not necessarily mean that products aren't actually coming out. And when a bunch of leakers and analysts are all saying the same thing, that's typically when it ends up happening. Let's begin. So let's get the obvious ones out of the way. What should we expect if iPhone Ticker ends up being correct and there is a March event? For one, the next generation iPhone SE, some call it the iPhone 9, some call it the iPhone SE 2. None of the names make sense, by the way. None of them will actually work. If they call it the iPhone SE, people are going to be mad that it's not an iPhone 5 in 2020. And if they call it the iPhone SE 2, that's too many letters and numbers. If we call it the iPhone 9, that's moving backwards in years, and that doesn't make sense if it's going to be rocking the A13 chip. The name's gonna suck, okay? Full warning. I don't know what Apple's planning, but I know in history they like seeing what everyone thinks it's gonna be called and then end up not calling it that at all, which in that case you should expect some type of wildcard name. Maybe they're calling it iPhone Air or iPhone C or B emoji. I could totally see that happening. Most likely one probably iPhone B emoji. What does the B stand for? Not important. The important thing to know is that it's an iPhone 8 with a new CPU, and that means it could have night mode performance. You know, it would make sense because Apple said, yeah, we can't bring night mode into the older iPhones because they need the A13 chip to do it. Well, this phone has the A13 chip, so come on. You should also expect really, really boring upgrades to the iPad Pro. This is not because I'm not a fan of the iPad Pro. It's actually because I'm such a major fan of the iPad Pro that came out way back in 2018 that there's literally nothing they can do to it in 2020 that would actually make it that compelling of an upgrade. We should expect triple camera on the back thanks to OnLeaks. Thanks for detailing that for us. That's about it. And a A13X chip, maybe Wi-Fi 6. Ooh, yay. Some reports are saying that we should expect a 5G iPad later this year, but that's not coming out at the March event. I have my doubts on that one. For one, no one is asking for 5G, and the tech community keeps thinking everyone is, but it's not true at all. Most people don't even know what it is if you ask them. And two, Apple very rarely would update an iPad with that small of a difference twice in the same year. I mean, if there's that small of an incremental upgrade, it's more than likely they would just delay the March iPad Pros till September or whatever so that they could actually drop the new cameras and 5G and Wi-Fi 6 and the new CPU. Even then though, it would be a very small upgrade and one that I personally have doubts about because it's more further out. The fact that we got a render from OnLeaks means that I think the new iPad Pros are coming. They're gonna be small, they're gonna be incremental updates, and they're gonna be unveiled at this March event or potentially thereafter. The other basically confirmed report at this point is AirTags. I mean, Apple even references the ultra-wideband chip on the iPhone's page, and they're saying that this could lead to new exciting features in the future, which none of which have been utilized yet, and I have high doubts that Apple developed a custom implemented chip in the new iPhones just so that when you're airdropping something, they can put some circular little dots around it, you know? That's literally all it's good for right now, the fact that you can airdrop things by pointing the iPhone at the correct other device. There's no way that's what the exciting features are. We've seen it referenced in iOS 13 code. Apple may have delayed it for whatever reason, but Quo has even told us that production ramping for this chip will begin in the second half of 2020, so I think it's possible Apple may unveil the Apple Tracker AirTag-like device at this event and maybe not start delivering it until later in the year. They just want to give people, you know, a sneak peek on what's to come, but other than a redesigned 13-inch MacBook Pro, you know, just giving it the 16-inch MacBook Pro treatment in a 13-inch body, maybe 14-inch now, that's pretty much all we should expect for this event. You know, last year's March event was all about services, so I think it's possible that maybe at this March event they would want to detail people on how well TV Plus is doing, even though 90% of our viewers are just using the free one-year trial. But hey, it's going really good because we won some awards, and a lot of people seem to like episode 5 of that one TV Plus show, so we're doing great. Also, Apple Arcade, that's doing fantastic. Maybe they'd launch, you know, Apple Card Plus, which we talked about in the past, but either way, March events are not known for being major. You should not be excited that much for this event. It's an event nonetheless, though, and some people just like getting excited for that. However, I'm trying to remain somewhat realistic, given iPhone Ticker is not, super reliable with their claims. Last year we really were convinced there was going to be an October event because we were hearing about the new 16-inch MacBook Pro, the new AirPods Pro coming out, and of course AirTags. Even back then, we were convinced there has to be an October event. There's no way Apple can go without having one, and they didn't. They actually just ended up dropping the products with website refreshes, which is probably easy on their end. They don't have to cater an event, and they know all of us YouTubers and journalists are going to talk about it anyway. So I still consider that completely possible. I know that Apple has never dropped a new iPhone via website refresh. They've always done it with an event, but I would also argue that they've never dropped a new MacBook Pro redesign or new AirPods without an event, and that's what they did last year, One day we just wake up, oh, AirPods Pro are available, you can get them in 2 days. That was very unexpected and unlike them, and that's what happened with the 16-inch MacBook Pro. They were like, you know what? You just have it here. We're gonna send it out. Everybody buy it now, okay? Be happy. Given Apple's doing some different things than usual, I still think it's totally possible there may not be a March event at all, and Apple's just gonna update the website and be like, hey, we made a cheaper $400 iPhone. It has night mode. Enjoy it, okay? Same thing with the 13-inch MacBook Pro. I mean, the 16-inch one did not even get an event. Why should the smaller configuration? And given they're doing so many site refreshes now, I completely think the iPad Pro refresh could also be done. I know it's never been a website refresh in the past, but Apple has technically released new iPads via website refresh, like the new iPad Air 3, the iPad Mini 5. None of those had an event. They haven't done it with the Pro models, but hey, these new iPad Pros that are coming, they're not a big deal. They're very incremental, so why not just do a newsroom post? I could totally see that happening. But what do you guys want to see happen? Which product are you hoping Apple talks about on stage, or are you okay with them kind of slowly dropping releases week by week like they have in the past? Feel free to let me know what you would prefer over on Twitter, or join my Discord, and you can check out this guy's Vasco's huge emotes in that server, because my god, he wants to send a photo every single time he uses a reaction, and it takes up the entire page. It's hilarious. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you guys in the next one.